deputy sheriff forced them onto the street. Something bad was about to happen. Ruby felt sure of it. We were let out of jail specifically for someone to be killed. Crossing boundaries. Jonathan Daniels was a rebel, but he was also a deep thinker. As a kid in Keene, New Hampshire, he had a way of discovering secret places where he could sneak away to daydream, like that crawl space under his family's house on Summer Street. When he removed the loose bricks from a wall in the basement and grabbed hold of an overhead pipe, Jonathan could swing his feet up and make his way into the space under the dining room. It was cool and dark and smelled like dirt, the perfect meeting place for his friends. First, it took some work. Jonathan and his friend Bob Perry spent weeks carting out dirt to enlarge the area. "We got on our hands and knees and dug out a bigger space," Bob recalled. Eventually, it was 8 feet wide and long. They brought in a few old chairs and made a bench with a board and some concrete blocks. But they could dig only at certain times. "We had to do it when his mother wouldn't be aware," Bob said. With the space ready, Jonathan assembled his friends in the underground clubhouse. He called his group the Royal Knights of the Order of the Skull and Bones Society. They gathered after school to talk about which girls caught their attention before turning to deeper subjects. Would the United States' new hydrogen bomb blow up the world? What about the American soldiers fighting in Korea? Jonathan wrote an ominous story about a soldier who came home from the Korean War to find that his family had been killed in a fire. Defiant and sneaky. Jonathan's friends knew that he had strict rules to live by. As the son of the town's busiest doctor and a status-conscious mother, he was expected to never bend those rules. Use your best manners at dinner and choose the right silverware. Do your homework and your chores. Always be on time. Keeping track of time was easy in downtown Keene back in the 1940s and 50s. Train whistles blared at regular intervals, and the Congregational church bell chimed on the hour in the town square. The difficult part was sneaking around those rules. Clever and resourceful, Jonathan discovered how. By the time he reached junior high school in 1951, 12-year-old Jonathan Daniels was a firebrand. He'd been sweet and loving and affectionate and obedient, said his mother. Suddenly he became argumentative and rebellious and defiant and sneaky. Because Jonathan was constantly grounded, his time with his friends was cut short. Jonathan was also a bit of a ham. He earned major roles, A Wicked Magician and Tom Sawyer, in shows put on by the Keene Children's Theater, and performed in the school and church choirs and the band. He loved to escape into books, which he said unlocked a great door to magnificent adventure. The stories that struck him most told about rescues from great danger, the exciting tales of valiant knights and fair ladies. Thin, klutzy Jonathan dreamed beautiful, fantastic dreams of myself as a great hero. He liked to hunker down in the crawl space and light a Camel cigarette, which he kept hidden in an old Band-Aid tin, and listen as his friends described the elaborate ceremonies of their churches. On Sundays, Jonathan, his parents, and his younger sister, Emily, attended Keene's First Congregational Church, but he found the services too plain and boring. Congregationalists don't kneel, and you don't chant, and you don't have vestments and all that sort of thing, a friend observed. So Jonathan made his own church. He built an altar in the crawl space and preached sermons to his friends, burning incense and sipping wine he'd swiped from his parents. Jonathan wasn't what I would ever call a nerd or odd or anything like that, said a friend. The idea of being a minister was there growing from the time he was very young. Haymaker punches. Keene was a busy place. Jell-O boxes, furniture, silver polish, and toys were manufactured in the mills of the small New England city. Elm trees towered above the wide Main Street, and students from Keene teachers'